All right, good afternoon, everyone. So this is the first time that we are conducting a webinar at 6 p.m. So we would like to see whether is it a better time at this hour or during the night or during the evening, in the afternoon or the morning. So if you are keen for us to actually conduct more webinars at this hour, please tell us that you prefer this hour. But in the meantime, today's topic is a bit more different from what we have been actually the type of webinars that we have been conducting. It is a sessions about international school, and it's an international school in Singapore. Why do we promote an international school in Singapore? Because a lot of our MM2H participants, members, actually state that if they stay in Johor, what options do they have to study? So besides the school options in Johor, they should also consider what Singapore can offer. Similarly, if you're looking at business opportunities or even healthcare, you can actually enjoy the best of both worlds when you have it in Singapore at the same time in Johor. So today, we are honored to have Mr. Koh, who is the Director of Operation from Insworld Institute. How are you, Mr. Koh?
Vincent, I'm fine, thank you very much. It's lovely to hear you and lovely to see you. And I hope we're being seen by many people from your key catchment areas in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and so on and so forth. But anyway, today, very briefly, I will introduce you to Insworld Institute, the programs that we run, and the reasons for studying in Singapore and at Insworld Institute. So the first thing to note is that our programs. Wait a minute, just having a bit of problems.
No worries. I think you need to flip to the second page. But okay. We just lost Mr. Cole, which I presume that he will be back in pretty soon. So before that, I will actually just share the slide that Mr. Cole has been was trying to explain. Hi, Mr. Cole.
Hello there. Yes, sorry, we're having a few technical problems.
No worries.
Our second slide.
On the screen as well.
Okay, well done. Okay, all right. I think that's probably much better if you can control it yourself. Okay. So Singapore Insworld was set up ostensibly as a school to prepare students for international education around the world. It's predominantly focused on a British curriculum, and our identity is indeed very British, although our students come from all over the world and end up going all over the world, not just from Britain and to Britain. So as a British school, we have very close connections with the High Commission here in Singapore. Our school was officially opened by the High Commissioner in 2004, and we've had various visitations by High Commissioners ever since, including 2014 and 2017. Okay, so what I would like now is to play for you a brief video from one of our graduating students. Over to you, Grace.
Before I begin, I would like to thank the administration for giving me the opportunity to address all of you. Thank you to our principal, Mr. Arthur, for anchoring the school during this tumultuous time. Thank you, staff and teachers. Thank you to Ms. May for organizing our countless exams. Thank you to all the staff members who helped invigilate the exams when the heightened measures were announced. Special thank you to Chris, who has worked incredibly hard since the pandemic hit to sort out all the online sessions. and rearrange our timetables on such short notice. He was always ready to help out when any issues arose, which was inevitable given the ever-changing situation. If I could describe the past year in one word, it would be the word uncertainty. My A-level experience started off with a change of plans when I was asked to come to school 3 weeks earlier than initially expected, as the June exams and holidays were cancelled due to COVID. October rolled around, then January, and I managed to settle into a rhythm. After finishing the January exams, I had planned to take a break and then prepare for exams in June. But all of a sudden, it was announced that the June exams were cancelled. I know everyone reacted differently to the news, and for some, it may have even been good news. But for me, I was honestly devastated. I felt like control had been ripped out of my hands and hurled as far away from me as possible. Eventually, I came to terms with the fact that there wouldn't be exams in June, and our grades would be predicted. We also had other radical surprises, such as unseen papers or 3 mock papers per subject, surprises that threw me into disarray. These changes were so overwhelming that I almost gave up on the June exams and planned to take them in October. There were too many exams, and I felt so helpless and frozen, looking at the stack of studying ahead of me. It was Mr. Rakita who convinced me to continue, so I want to genuinely thank him for that, and for helping me arrange the exams I missed, and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. But ultimately, talking about how I struggled to come to terms with the fact that exams were predicted, or how I struggled in the face of uncertainty, feels a bit disingenuous. Who am I to complain about having struggled due to COVID when there are so many out there who have it much worse than me? Who am I to say that I have had a hard time? Many teachers have not been able to return to their home countries to see their loved ones since this pandemic started, and that is already hard in itself. Despite feelings of worry, homesickness, or fear, they continued showing up for us. On top of that, they had to cope with the ever-changing exam situation as well. So to teachers, thank you for all that you do. I would very much like to tell everyone how to deal with uncertainty, how to deal with your emotions when you're thrown into a situation you never expected or wanted to be in. But honestly, I'm still learning. All I know is to take everything one step at a time. When your plans are crushed and things are thrown into disarray, take things one problem at a time, one sentence at a time, one word at a time. It is better to accept the situation rather than to fight against it. And don't let your unhappiness or anger or sadness about the situation overwhelm you. Even if it does, it's okay. Just pick yourself up and start again. Try again, one step at a time. Everyone joined the school at different stages in their lives, and we have all walked vastly different paths to get here. If you believe in fate, you would say that the paths of our lives have been set out in such a way that they would converge at this exact point. However, from now on, our paths will begin to diverge again. No one knows what the future holds, and honestly, I'm still anxious about it. I don't know what I want to do or where I want to go. So if anyone is feeling the same way, know that you are not alone. But ultimately, we have to learn to live with that uncertain feeling and continue moving forward, one step at a time, and watch as our path slowly forms in front of us, bit by bit. I want to end this off with a quote from Giltner Radner. I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't rhyme and some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of it without knowing what's going to happen next. Thank you to everyone for being part of my A-level experience, and happy graduation.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Grace, a student who's just graduated from Insworld and will be going on, we hope, to a very prestigious university around the world. Now, Insworld has a number of key features. It is a very small school. It's a very intimate school. It has very small class sizes, and there is a high degree of support and care for the individual. Allied to this, we operate very flexible programs, and this flexibility is brought about because of the system that we inherit from Pearson Edexcel, the UK's largest examining body. Normally, secondary and high school education takes 6 years. At Insworld, you can complete it in 4.5 years. Why? Are we talking more quickly? No. The simple fact of the matter is that we have an academic year of 44 weeks, of 4 terms of 11 weeks each, and this enables us to complete the program, each section of the program, much more quickly than would be possible otherwise. So each section of the program, from our lower secondary program, International Edexcel International Tuition Program, the IGCSE program, and the A-level or IAL program are normally 2 years. Each section is now 1.5 years. Okay, so we go right. So why Pearson Edexcel? Very briefly, as I've already said, it's the UK's largest examining body, and we find that the programs give us the flexibility and the academic rigor necessary. These are very academic programs, and they are recognized by universities and employers the world over. They are gold standard educations. Okay, there is an international perspective in all our programs, and they are designed in such a way as to enhance and bring out the best approaches of learning approaches for our students. The programs, in addition, are modular. That means you can take individual modules and individual exams at various times during the year. Okay, so we move on now. The Insworld approach. We have an enormously successful track record in the past. As I say, we have had students that are going through to universities around the world. I see there one of our students who went to Oxford University in the UK, another student who has gone on to study medicine in Australia. So we've had great success with students going on to universities around the world. And so for our next slide, we will look at why Insworld is so successful. I think the major factor from my point of view is that there are very small class sizes. So our class sizes are typically 4 to 12 students. This allows for discussion and individual attention of the students, which enhances their chances of success. In addition, we give one-to-one academic support for students who need it. So students who need extra support and guidance will get it through additional one-to-one classes with the teachers as and when they need it. And so we move on. Okay, the key feature, as I said, is flexibility. Flexibility is possible because of the small class sizes and the nature of the programs that we run. In addition to that, we have our own personal tutor system. Each student is assigned a personal tutor, meets with that tutor once a week to discuss academic performance and to find solutions where there are problems. So there is a lot of support. We care for the individual first and foremost at Insworld. So moving on again. As I've said, it's a modular program. The advantage of a modular program is that you can do exams as and when you finished a particular unit or module. In addition to that, it allows you to retake exams if you're not successful. And therefore, your stress is greatly reduced. Not for us, the situation where students study hard for 2 years and then it's all down to a final exam that's going to make you or break you. We are committed to helping our students achieve the best possible results. And so moving on again. Okay, so we, in addition to the academic programs, we believe that life is for living. And so we ensure that students have a whole variety, a huge variety of additional options available to them. This is annual leadership camps, a full program of extracurricular activities, COVID permitting, team building activities, COVID permitting, and our hugely enjoyable cultural festival, which is held every year, that gives students the opportunity of dressing up in national costume, singing and dancing and cooking and doing all sorts of things to give the school a true multi-cultural dimension. It's a wonderful experience. So moving on again. Okay, so it really is down to me just to say that we look forward to welcoming as many of you as possible in the future to our Insworld Institute family. It is, as I've said, a very friendly school. It is a multicultural school. We take students from all walks and we take students of differing abilities. We're not selective. We are able to do this because we have very small classes, and because we are multicultural and multi-ethnic, there is a real global sense of togetherness. And I think nowhere have I ever encountered such a positive sense of globalization in such a small environment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we can visit you to Insworld Institute in the near future. But before that, do visit us at www.insworld.edu.sg or send us an email at inquiries. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. So actually, we have actually conducted a lot of webinars with various international schools, or even some from other parts of, outside Malaysia as well. But this is the first time I hear about Pearson Edexcel's this syllabus. But it's a British program, so it's actually correspond with O-level and A-level in IGCSE. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed. It's the spitting image, one might almost say.
Okay. Then, but the benefit it offers, because it's a modular program, and because of your the institute's your school's ability to actually let them study over 45 weeks, potentially they can shorten the 6 years O level and A level into 4.5 years. Is that right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. And you know, this again is a function of the flexibility built into the Pearson EdXL program, where exams take place 3 times during the year, in May, June, in October, and in January. So that's one reason why we have flexibility. The second reason is because we have a number of different intakes. And because it is modular, it means that we can timetable students to sit in classes in different intakes and go at their own speed. But they can, and usually do, finish much quicker than would be traditionally the case in a British school in the UK.
Okay, I have a question because a lot of our audience may not be speaking English as the natural tongue. So it's a second language for the family. So is there a particular minimum English proficiency before they can be accepted into your school?
We have an English for Academic Studies program, which we can operate either in alongside an academic program, or if their English is not sufficiently advanced, prior to the academic program. So if a student is coming to us with very little English, it's quite probable that they will need to have a year's study just studying English with us, and then embarking on the academic program thereafterwards, with additional English language support throughout. Okay. Now, that's often a reason why students are looking to accelerate the program, because they say, well, I've got to spend a year maybe studying English. Well, you'll get that back. So don't worry.
Yes, because you're modular, you can actually juggle the syllabus in order to actually fit the timetables of the students, right?
Yeah, and obviously for many students, it will be a necessity to learn English anyway at some point, particularly if they want to go to universities in the UK, Canada, Australia, or America, or anywhere in the English-speaking world.
Okay, so all right. I think these are all the main questions I'd like to ask. If any one of you are interested to find out how to enroll or how much does it cost, I suggest that you can actually contact Insworld directly, which is stated here, the contact details. And of course, if you need our assistance, you can also contact us in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, or in China, or even in Malaysia. Okay, so just contact our representative on the sites. And thank you, Mr. Cole. I think it's very interesting because actually my younger daughter is now studying in the international school in Penang under the British syllabus. So potentially, I think that is another potential options that we can explore. That since you offer a very personalized educations based on the British system. So in a way, I believe that there will be more attention to each of the students' personal development, and to cater for the eventual study path. If they want to study in Oxford, or they want to study in the Ivy League, then potentially there can be a more tailored made syllabus to cater for that, or activities to cater for that direction. Okay.
Well, Vincent, if you do send your daughter here, she'll be very welcome, and of course we'll take extremely good care of her.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cole. All right, so I see that I think this hour there are a lot of people who are still having dinner, because it's dinner time in Taiwan, 6 o'clock until 6:30. But if you leave a questions for us in the message, afterwards, we will still attend to it. So do leave us a message if you are interested. But in the meantime, I'd like to share what we do. Okay, as Anthony Club, at the moment, we are also promoting for investment migration. Besides to Malaysia, we're also promoting to Thailand, to Taiwan, and potentially in the near future to Singapore as well. So please contact us if you are interested to move to this part of the world. Not just Malaysia, it can be Thailand, it can be Singapore, or even Taiwan. So we are licensed in all this area at the moment, except Singapore at the moment. Then I would like to share with you one of the video of the events we have done previously. We have organized a lot of expos in Hong Kong and Taiwan, and this is the most recent one in late 2019, just before COVID the pandemic affect everyone. And in the expo, you will get the latest information, not just about investment migration, but also about educations, healthcare, or even other investment options. So please take a look at this event that we have conducted 1.5 years ago. Okay, this okay, that's comes to the end of our sessions for today. Thank you very much, Mr. Cole, for supporting us. I do hope that I have a chance to visit Singapore and take a look at your esteemed institution as well. So
yes, please do.
Okay, well, when I make a trip to Singapore, I'll definitely let you know. So in the meantime, we have multiple sessions this week. On this Saturday, we have 2 sessions, of which at 2 o'clock, there'll be a sharing by a Malaysian entrepreneur in Taiwan on how he actually set up a company in Taiwan, and eventually he's now on obtained a permanent residency in Taiwan. And the second sessions will be in English, will be at 4 o'clock. That is a sessions that we are organizing in conjunction with the Tourism Authority of Thailand, okay, to talk about the retirement program to Thailand. That's 4 o'clock this Saturday. So thanks a lot again, Mr. Cole. So
thank you.
Until then, hope that everyone enjoyed a very good evening on Wednesday, and keep safe, stay healthy, and I hope that everyone will look forward to a better future. Thank you. See you around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.